Hi, and welcome back to our channel. Today we bring you a piece of breaking news from a royal expert, revealing the fake news in the book Finding Freedom about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. I'm almost finished reading the book, and my impression is Lady Colin Campbell stays far away from anything that could cause legal problems. It's as if she's afraid of the lawsuit-happy Meghan taking her to court, so she states things in a flattering manner, almost as if to appease Meghan at many times in the book. Honestly, I think that's why I still have 3 chapters to go. Nothing scandalous, nothing salacious, but an interesting viewpoint. That said, Lady Colin Campbell paints Harry as completely love-struck. And while that may be true, that wasn't my take of the guy. It makes for a nicer story to have Harry utterly lovesick over Meghan, and I can see him believing she's so smart that he just rolls with it. Nothing is said about how Meghan does some really strange things, though, like calling the Paps to take her picture as she takes a walk, or calling the police many times in Toronto about being afraid of people trying to threaten her, when actually no one even noticed her. It's akin to what's happening in Los Angeles right now, with the reports of these mysterious drones. Are there actually drones, or is Meghan making things up? Stories of being bothered by the incessant paparazzi when they chose to move to paparazzi heaven. Crazy, right? We know she had to have called the cops, the Paps, in the middle of lockdown to get photos of her and Harry delivering meals in a very unsafe manner, with her touching Harry. Seriously, she can't keep her hands to herself, ever, and patting him on the back. Good boy. By the way, Lady Colin Campbell does address Meghan treating Harry like a lover, but then treating him like a little boy craving approval, and I think she's right about that. I will say, psychologically speaking, Lady Colin Campbell nails down what Diana did to Harry, thus creating a person who's completely emotionally based and thinks of himself as being very special. Harry does not want to be a support for his father or brother. She claims Harry wants to be a king in his own right. I did find her take on Harry and Meghan from a strictly psychological point very insightful. Lady Colin Campbell compliments Meghan, saying she's a feminist, intelligent, cunning, etc., all while making excuse for her very poor behavior, both pre-royal and as a royal. Her excuse is that Meghan is an American, so she commits so many faux pas, but that's where I take exception. Most intelligent Americans who are not suffering from a personality disorder, and sorry guys, but it's the only plausible way to explain how Meghan operates, but Americans would follow protocols and remember that the Queen gets in the car first and the Americans second. I could remember that, couldn't you? So when Meghan was tired of that garden party and whined about being bored, it annoyed me more than anything. It's simply poor form being spoiled to death by her father, Thomas, who loved Flower, aka Megs, to the point of creating a narcissistic bully who has to have things go her way or she falls apart. Meghan throws temper tantrums, and we see it when she sends out messages claiming the Queen doesn't own the word royal. No shit, Sherlock. But she's the Queen, Meghan, and you're nothing compared to her, so give it up. This isn't quick, is it? Sorry. I find Lady Colin Campbell's excusing Meghan due to her Americanism insulting. Most of us would never imagine behaving like Meghan. And yes, in a fit of anger, sweet Meghan threw scalding hot tea at a woman working at the Admiralty House they were staying at in Australia, and the aide was burned. Is that behavior typical just because Meghan's an American? No, it has to do with Meghan thinking she deserves to have everything go her way. And she waves the flag of victimhood and racism or misogyny or anything other than stating, yes, I did throw hot tea on a servant and I'm sorry for it. We don't get that, do we? Meghan is never to blame. That delicate little flower could screw the whole royal family raw, and we have so many PR peeps on here that they have to cover her little American butt. They don't want the truth to come out because Meghan is just not a nice person. She slapped Harry's hand in public when he didn't grab hers. What the hell, guys? Her factory settings are all wrong, and yet she gets away with storming the gates of Buckingham Palace. Why? She was treated so well by the royals. Why defend her? Why love her? Why, when she's absolutely the bully here? Like I said, I did find Lady Colin Campbell's psychological explanations of why Meghan wants freedom interesting, but it still doesn't excuse her from marrying a prince and then dragging him away to save herself. Flower was so loved by Thomas Markle that Doria didn't feel any love, and they divorced because of that. No wonder Meghan is messed up. Her father gave her the best, and Lady Colin Campbell says Meghan thinks she deserves the best life has to offer. She feels entitled, but she didn't want to work hard as a royal. Couldn't Meghan have found a nice billionaire to ensnare instead? The psychological take on Harry is very telling, since Diana knew Prince William had to be the one treated as a boy who would have to learn responsibility, study well, be disciplined and well-learned and active in kingly pursuits. But when it came to Harry, Diana fed him stories about how special and unique he was, and Harry was petulant and emotional as a child. Reading the book just to see what Diana did to Prince Harry is eye-opening. She indulged him, knowing he wasn't the one to be king, when he should have been disciplined, just like William. Lady Colin Campbell was right when she claimed Harry would never have left the royal family had he married anyone else. Meghan wanted to attend red carpet events rather than doing the boring, tedious engagement that royals simply have to do. Flower and Harry were taught how very special they were, and look at what it did to both of them. Spoiled, rotten brats. Kids aren't born special. They have to earn it. It's just a shame Harry and Flower didn't learn that. Lady Colin Campbell does a decent job, and this book isn't awful. Doesn't that other book of Meghan's, that book written about Meghan's need to flee the family of royals, hit the newsstands soonish over here? I can't wait, and yes, I've already ordered my copy. That picture of Meghan Markle sitting in all her glory with the empty seats around her at Wimbledon, all to impress her buddies, says it all. Yes, you got it right. Spoiled brat. From what we've seen from the Times, the Lady Colin Campbell's book appears to paint a better picture of Meghan than the Scobie book does, which she was anticipating would make the public tide turn in her favor. This is so out of touch with who that woman really is. No, Harry would never have left the royal family, as you said. He grew up knowing he was the spare, and he was only there to support his brother. As a matter of fact, I read in a European magazine, pre the Markle name, Harry had confided in a friend that he wanted somebody comfortable with the limelight to support him in his royal duties. And then along came the self-absorbed woman who duped him into believing she was the one. Poor Harry. Honestly, I hope he wakes up soon. Royal expert Duncan Larcombe asked an important question. How will the contents of the book affect Duchess Kate Middleton and Prince William? In all honesty, I'm pretty conflicted here. On the one hand, I like to think that Kate and Wills are capable of rising above this nonsense, but I'm also very aware of the mental toll that this can have on a person. Larcombe believes that Prince William and Duchess Kate in particular will feel the strain. William and Kate will have lost a lot of sleep over this. You could argue it's perfectly legitimate to take your brother aside and say, don't rush anything. But for that to be portrayed as him being a snob is a very extreme view. I know Prince William will take that to heart massively. I guess it's easy for fans and other onlookers to urge the future Queen and King consort to dismiss the nonsense that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle seem to be reveling in putting out there. But we need to bear in mind that we're talking about brothers here. If the agenda of this book isn't clear now, it never will be. I've said this since the day Finding Freedom book was announced. It's a PR exercise for Meghan Markle. I challenge anyone to show me anything written in the book that paints Meghan in a negative light. One thing. You can't. Because Meghan is portrayed as the loving wife who gave up her entire life for the ungrateful family of her husband, while suffering attacks from a racist British media and public. Meanwhile, when the LA dream eventually dies the slow death it's currently enduring, the blame for wanting to leave the royal life in the first place is going to sit squarely with Prince Harry. Meghan Markle comes out of this entire charade squeaky clean. How about you? What do you think about this book? Please let us know in the comment section below so we can discuss together. Remember to like and share this video with all of your followers. And as always, subscribe and come back to our channel for all the latest news on the royal family right here. Thanks for watching and see you next time.